Hjördis has a tummy ache and she's going to have an operation today. This means the doctor will be looking inside her tummy to find out why it's hurting. Hjördis and her mummy, Margot, had to wake up really early to get to the hospital in time. They didn't have any breakfast either, so they're pretty hungry. Finding their way around the big hospital really isn't easy. Luckily, Paget can show them the way. Hjördis and Mummy have to wait in a waiting room. They have to wait for such a long time. Stop. Hjördis is really hungry, but she's not allowed to eat anything because it's important for her to have an empty tummy when she's put under anesthetic and has her operation. At last, it's time now for Hjördis to meet her anesthetist, Pam-Fritz. Dr. Pam-Fritz reads about Hjördis' tummy in his computer. He asks a lot of questions to make sure that Hjördis is okay before her operation. Hjördis gets patches applied to her hand and to the bend of her arm. These patches contain numbing cream. The cream will magically take away the feeling in her skin. So Hjördis won't really feel the injection she's getting. So good to find others to play with at the hospital.
Bernie?
Wow, now something is happening. Sister Robin is showing Hjördis where she can get changed into really, really clean hospital clothes. Oh, come on. Who is it that's going to have the operation?
Så, nappen upp. Ja.
Är det va?
Ja.
Hopp. Mip, doff. Mip, doff.
Mitt. Doff.
Oh, lovely. A bed all of her own. But look at this. The beds in this hospital are really weird.
Mamma.
No, don't even think about it. No eating before the operation. There are lots of different things to sort out before it's time for the operation. Nurse Robban and Nurse Bandy know exactly what they're doing. Nurse Robban asks a lot of questions and explains to Hjördis and Mummy what's going to happen.
Eka bedil om bambi go kabab.
Körde vi filmen nu?
Pull it up. Rull. Keep it up. Puff.
Ja, puff. Ja, maybe puff.
Hjördis is given a wristband showing her name and when her birthday is. Now everybody at the hospital knows for sure that they're helping the right little girl. Along comes Dr. Gajans, who will be operating on Hjördis. A doctor who operates on people is called a surgeon. She asks how Hjördis is doing.
Åh.
Ta-da! Bully. Kill. Kill.
And draws a cross on her tummy. Now everybody knows which part of Hjördis is to be operated on.
Wow! Ja. Toodaloo. No.
Hörru!
Hey! Hjördis has had the patch with the numbing cream on for 1 whole hour. It's time to remove it. Nurse Robban comes wandering over with a whole trolley full of stuff. Hjördis does not like to remove patches. Blowing on the patch to remove it is a cool trick. It doesn't hurt so much that way. Hjördis wants to try it herself.
Ow!
A strap is put onto Hjördis' arm to make it easier to see and feel her blood vessels. Wow, the patch has done a really good job. Hjördis feels almost nothing where the patch with the numbing cream was applied. Nurse Robban washes the skin thoroughly. Now it's time for Hjördis to have a little injection and a plastic tube put into her hand. Nurse Robban has to make a tiny hole in her skin with a needle in order to get this plastic tube into her blood vessel. Calm down, Hjördis. Remember, you've had the numbing cream. It'll make your skin feel much less. Oops, already done? After the injection, Nurse Robban takes the needle away and puts it in the bin. Look here, the syringes containing medicine don't have any needles, and they fit perfectly into the plastic tube. Now Hjördis can be given different medicines and fluids directly into her bloodstream without having any more injections. Isn't that cool? Hjördis can move her hand however she likes. The only thing in her blood vessel is that soft plastic tube. Nurse Robban has thrown away the needle. Now it's time for Hjördis to head for the surgical ward. She'll be driven there in her bed. Nurse Robban and Margot go with her. Everything has to be really, really clean when you're going to have an operation. That's why both Nurse Robban and Margot have to put on special clothes. Sister Tuta works with the anesthetic, and she'll be looking after Hjördis during her operation. She's checking Hjördis' wristband, the cross on her tummy, and when she last ate and drank. Then it's time for Hjördis to move to another bed. It's an operating bed. Sister Tuta drives Hjördis to the operating theatre in her bed. Hjördis wonders whether she has a driver's license for beds. Luckily, Mummy Margot is there to help her steer it. Wow! Isn't this exciting? Look at all the things there are in the operating theatre. Hjördis wonders what they're all used for. Mummy Margot seems to be a bit dizzy, so it's a good idea to sit her down on the chair next to the bed. Margot is allowed to stay with Hjördis until Hjördis is asleep, and that feels really good. Hello? There are a few people in here that Hjördis recognizes. Dr. Pomfritz. Oh, and look, there's Dr. Gayans. During the operation, it's important to make sure everything is extra clean so that Hjördis doesn't get any bacteria in her wound. That's why everybody in the operating theatre has to wear special clothes, caps and face masks. Before the operation, the staff wash their hands thoroughly with a special soap as well. Then they put on clean gloves. But what is Dr. Gayans doing with those gloves? It's soon time for Hjördis to have a little sleep. But before she does, Pomfritz and Tuta want to measure a few different things so that they can make sure she's okay and sleeping soundly during her operation. 3 stickers are put onto Hjördis' chest to hold wires in place. They measure how her heart beats. Hjördis gets a little device with a red light put on her finger. It keeps track of how she's breathing. Sister Tuta puts a cuff high up on Hjördis' arm. It measures how Hjördis' heart is pumping the blood around her body. The cuff clamps around her arm occasionally, and when it does that, it's measuring her blood pressure. There we are. Everything's in place. All the devices are connected to a monitor which has loads of buttons, lights, numbers and indicators that beep and make noises all the time. These numbers show Pomfritz and Tuta how Hjördis is doing during her operation. Now it's almost time for Hjördis to have a little sleep. Don't you remember, Hjördis? The syringes don't have a needle. It won't hurt at all. Dr. Pomfritz gives Hjördis medicine in her plastic tube. She feels a bit dizzy, but it's not too bad. Tuta says she'll feel better if she closes her eyes. Tuta explains to Hjördis that she will have to breathe in a face mask. Tuta holds the mask in front of Hjördis' nose and mouth and asks her to take big, deep breaths. This face mask delivers extra fresh air that's known as oxygen. Oxygen is good for the body, especially if we have to have an anesthetic and undergo an operation. Perm Fritz gives Hjördis medicine in her plastic tube that will make her go to sleep. Wow, that worked quickly. Hjördis is already asleep. Perm Fritz and Tuta stay with Hjördis throughout her entire operation and make sure she's sleeping soundly and isn't in any pain. While Hjördis is having her operation, Mummy Margot has to wait in her room outside along with other mummies and daddies. Tuta told Mummy Margot to have something to eat and drink while she's waiting so that she can look after Hjördis really well after her operation. Now just hang on a minute. Tuta didn't mean you should eat Hjördis sandwich. Now the operation is over and Hjördis is back in her bed. Sister Bandy drives her to the room where she'll be waking up. Hjördis is still tired and snoozing. It takes a while for the anesthetic to leave the body. Mummy Margot sits with Hjördis. Who's most tired, do you think? Hjördis or Mummy? Sister Babushka is keeping a careful eye on everyone who's waking up after their operations. She measures lots of different things and makes sure everyone's okay and isn't in pain. But oh dear, Bowl Betula seems to have a pain in her nose. Sister Babushka comes over straight away to help her.
Boo boo boo.
Boo boo?
Bowl Betula shows Babushka how much pain she's in by pointing at a ruler with different faces on it. Sister Babushka gives Bowl Betula medicine through her plastic tube to take away the pain.
pee-pee.
When Hjördis and the others who've had operations wake up, Sister Babushka comes and offers them ice cream. Yummy, yum. Even the mummies and daddies like that.
Wait.
Now it's time for Hjördis and Mummy to head home. At last, Hjördis and Mummy Margot can enjoy the delicious sandwiches that they've been waiting for so long.